We're here at DPA booth. We're going to talk about some headset mics. We're going to do that next.
It's Geekazine's coverage of NAB 2014, and it's brought to you by our friends over at Otherworld Computing, celebrating 25 years.
Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine over at geekazine.com and youtube.com/Geekazine. We're here with James over at DPA. What does DPA stand for again?
Danish Professional Audio.
Danish Professional Audio, and they have a series of great microphones, handheld microphones. We got a presenter microphone over here, different situation type microphones. But the one that really caught my eye was the headset microphone. Now I've started using headset microphones myself to get rid of that microphone in front of you while you're doing your shows. It looks a lot better in the video, and I'm really happy doing it that way. What I first saw with your guys' headset is that little, I'm calling it a little pigtail clip right there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what this is? What, the Define series?
Yes, so this is the Define headset microphone. What we have here is a modular, easy on, easy off headset microphone. Okay. We have both omnidirectional and cardioid, but typically for the podcast environment, where we're talking in a controlled environment, the omnidirectional is going to be the way to go. This little pigtail right here curls over the top of your ear, and then this piece right here sits behind your earlobe. Okay. It sits in place very gently. It's very light and very comfortable. And then we also have a little clip here in the back to clip to your shirt or your collar to relieve the weight of the cable. Okay. Once it's on, it's almost as if it's not even there, and that's a very important aspect because you don't want it to distract you while you're recording your podcast.
Exactly. I put these. Well, I'm going to put it on right now just to show how this works. So we're going to set this down a second. Yeah.
The bottom piece.
Oh, behind the ear. I thought it was
behind the ear. There you go. And then I'll relieve the weight of the cable.
All right. He's gonna finish that up. That little clip here. So now this isn't totally set for me, but it's close enough.
Yeah, so what's great about this headset is it's all modular, and it actually has 1.5 inches of back and forth to really position the mic. Okay. You can also bend the metal attachment up or down to really get the placement right where you need it to be.
Now, some other cool things about this microphone you were showing me is the ability, if, let's say, I want it, 1 week I'm on the left ear, the next week I'm on the right ear. Correct. That's easy to do that, right?
Correct. All you have to do is just grab the boom or the capsule itself and just swivel because it is on a rotating joint. Okay. That also adds on to the fact that the boom is completely modular and detachable from the ear hook and the cable. So if something does go wrong, you don't need to buy a completely new headset. Yeah. You just have to replace the piece that went wrong.
Yeah, usually these cables are the first thing that goes, and if I can get a new cable without having to get the headpiece, because this is the most expensive part, right?
That is correct. So the cable would be an easy replacement.
Perfect. And then, of course, I can also, the pigtail part, let's say that gets all frayed, I can pop that right off and go from there.
Absolutely, yeah. Simple $20.
All right. Well, let's talk about the connectors here. What do we got for connection to a micro and XLR type situation?
Correct. So all these headsets are actually microdot out, and what we have is a microdot 2 XLR adapter or a microdot 2 wireless adapter, and pretty much any wireless adapter you could possibly think of. So there really isn't anything you can't use this microphone for. We could hardwire the connector or adapter directly onto the cable if you needed it to, but the best way, in my recommendation, would be to have the microdot out so you can use that adapter for whatever application you need. So you can use the same headset for an XLR wired in, or if you wanted to take it portable and use it mobile, you can go wireless as well.
Of course, if it wasn't for our sponsor, none of this would be possible. That's why I'd like to thank our friends over at OWC, Otherworld Computing. They have a lot of great stuff. If you've got a MacBook that you just put Mavericks on, you want to increase memory, maybe put an SSD drive in there. Or a brand new Mac Pro that you want to increase memory, but you don't want to pay Apple prices, check it out over at OWC. They've got great prices at fractions of the cost that Apple would have. You can get your memory, you can upgrade your memory, you can put in SSD drives. There's even a way, did you know that if you have an old computer, maybe a legacy computer that you can't switch out for a new one, you could put an SSD drive into the IDE slot and use the SSD drive from there. They've got solutions like that. Need a refurbished computer? They got those too, and a whole bunch more. Whether PC, whether Mac, or even enterprise level with their Jupiter line, which they announced here at NAB. Check it all out. Tell me, how it's going to save your Mac by using that hashtag #SaveMyMac over at OWC. Go over to geekazine.com/OWC, geekazine.com/OWC, and find out how you can save your Mac. Anything else you wanted to highlight with this microphone?
Well, we have different colors. You can also go dual ear as well as single, and the single ear can become dual ear. The dual
As
ear,
in the clip or as in a microphone?
the headset itself. So the microphone will be exactly the same, but I can get a dual ear band to go around the back and come around the other ear for added stability. But then again, if you purchase the dual ear and you only want to use the single, it can go both ways. We also have a few different colors. There's black, beige, lime green if you're feeling adventurous, which is pretty cool, and also brown, dark brown. So
sometimes I got a peach color, and I would probably get if another peach color simply because of the fact that, like I said, I don't want that microphone in front of my face. Some people, they really want to stand out, and something like a lime green to stand out. That's kind of why I got the sky blue Google Glass, so it kind of stand out, but it doesn't stand out as well. So what are we talking about for price points?
Well, the headset starts at $579.99, and it's going to vary depending on whether you want dual or single ear or the wireless adapter you purchase along with the microphone.
Okay, how much is the wireless adapter?
Well, those all vary as well, but if you want the XLR itself, the Microdot 2 XLR adapter, that is currently list priced at $110.
So ultimately, the whole price about $800?
I would say less than that. I'm saying somewhere between $600 to $700.
$700, and you got a good microphone system.
Most certainly, you have a very high quality microphone with zero color added, extremely clear and transparent, and you have quality and reliability to back it.
And then you have different types of microphones, from the cardioid to the...
Absolutely. So you've got the cardioid, as I said before, which is going to reject unwanted sound from the outside, or the omnidirectional for a controlled environment such as a podcast.
Well, where do people go for more information?
I would go to www.dpamicrophones.com.
dpamicrophones.com.
That is correct.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
You're very welcome.
There you go. If you're looking to change up some microphones, maybe get rid of this thing and go to a headset microphone. Check it out over at dpamicrophones.com. Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine.com, youtube.com/Geekazine. Remember my hashtag, Geek Out, and we'll see you at the next one at NAB.